Hey there, welcome back to Featherwood Farm. This is Darcy, and Esther and Edith, the goats, are making quite a bit of noise right now, so you might pick up on that in the background. It's been a while since I have recorded a video. You know, life just got busy, plus winter time. I'm not out here a whole lot. We've had a lot of rain, not so much snow, we got a little bit, but the past few days has just been a lot of rain. So everything is just wet and muddy, but it's actually a really beautiful day. The sun is out, there's a slight breeze, super pretty. And I thought that, so it's December 30th, it's right before the end of the year, and I wanted to get a garden tour in so that we can see how everything looks like at the very, very end, wrapping up 2024, and then that'll be a nice thing to look back on in the new year as we continue to make progress. So we're in the raised bed cottage garden area right now, and yeah, I guess let's get started. So much of what is over here has either been newly transplanted this past year, or they were plugs and just wee little babes put in. The deer did end up getting in and eating this arb that was there. I had a feeling that it was going to happen, so that stinks. Lesson learned. They also got the ones in the front, but yeah, I mean, it was a test. I got them for a really good price, so not really too bummed out. But yeah, I'm keeping everything foliage wise up for as long as I can. I've still had a bunch of little juncos and chickadees kind of finishing up what's left on the seed heads of both bergamot and echinaceas, so that's been cute to watch, as well as some of the grasses. I did not get around to pruning my lavender because it was such a warm fall and into winter. I mean, it's only been a few days into winter at this point, that they were still flowering into November, and I was still seeing pollinators on them. And yeah, I mean, I don't know the proper etiquette for it. Like, I would rather them have their food, and I'll just prune these up in the springtime, so no losses there. The Cerama coop is closed up for the winter. They have moved into their indoor area, and this is still silage tarped, where I'm trying to kill off the the thistle. Yeah, so rose bushes, blueberry bushes, silage tarp, trying to kill thistle. Hopefully next year I'll have a better kind of handle on it back here, and we can really get this planted. That'll be nice. And the sun is like really zinging through in this area, so I apologize if there's a lot of glare. All of the raised beds are, completely wintered over. Interesting happening. So I put, the farm compost in here, I want to say maybe October time, and ranunculus, and possibly some anemones. It looks like maybe rabbits have gotten in here and been nibbling on them a bit. But I guess the corms held over in the compost pile for a year plus, because I don't hot compost. So, I mean, it's surprising that they did last still, and didn't rot out, but they did, and they're growing. So I'm just going to kind of leave them. You can kind of see, yeah, there's definitely bunnies had gotten in here and messed with it. So I'll need to cover these up a bit, but that'll be interesting. I have no idea what kind they're going to be. I assume it's just going to be a colorful mixed variety of like picotees probably, but we shall see. That'll be fun. Got a little jump start on the new year. And, these have been in here, like I said, since like October time. We have had our lowest night so far was 4 degrees, and we've had a few other nights that were in the single digits. So these have not been protected. They're just, thrown in here, and they survived. So that is really interesting. I might, be able to overwinter them rather than having to give them a jump start indoors. And over on this side, I still have not cleaned this up. This is the only part that I have not cleaned up. It just, yeah, it didn't happen. They were still blooming in November, and I was taking full advantage of it. These are the mums, the heirloom chrysanthemums. And then I started to notice they're growing and they're spreading, which again, I did not think was going to happen. I know that they are hardy and they are cold tolerant. I did not anticipate it being to this degree. Most people dig them up and will take them inside if they have the space, and overwinter them that way, and then take cuttings for the next year, or, you know, do what I did and just purchase the cuttings. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna, I guess, see how this plays out. I did already place my order through Three Porch Farm for some more varieties for next year. So I might have to move into another bed or some other space, but that's fine. I can do that. So yeah, just an interesting little tidbit there. And I meant to take these swings down, but I cannot for the life of me seem to get the hooks off of the rings. Like, I don't even know how we got them on, because yeah, the openings don't seem to allow them coming off. So I hope that they will be okay. You can see I still have a little bit of cleaning up that I needed to do over here. I did get some of the wood chips thrown on to overwinter this area. This part I have silage tarped because this is where I will end up putting in a small wildlife pond. It's not going to be in the manner that I originally wanted it to, because we have gas lines running from this propane tank over there, and from where this one was that we did have taken out, there are more gas lines running through here. So I originally wanted it to be kind of funneled from the downspouts and to this to keep it kind of perpetually filled. But yeah, so that's not going to happen because of all those pipes. I don't want to deal with that. So it's just going to be small, dug out, gravel, stone, plant filled, and it will just be a seasonal thing. So as the area is inundated, there will be water, but I'm not going to keep it topped off. I'm not going to use any sort of like liner or anything like that. It's going to be very simple, easy, affordable. Hopefully. that's the plan, at least. Yeah, everything over here, kind of what you would expect, but I do actually love a winter garden. There's so much wind here in the winter, so we really get a lot of movement in here when you keep like the grasses and all the perennials up, which is nice. This, I don't know if you can see, kind of 1, 2, and then the other one's hidden there, but those were the fluffy arborvitae, which were a western arb, which they say are more deer resistant. They were doing fine, doing really, really well, and then one day, one single deer just came in and ate all 3 of them. I was witness to it happening, like at the tail end. Quite unfortunate, but now we know. And I think what I want to do is get another of these Bruns Siberian spruces and put that over there. This is doing really, really well. Put on new growth since planting it. You can kind of see the difference in the color cast of the needles. Whole bunch of pine cones up there, and really, really pretty. When they first started emerging, they were this beautiful purple color, which is beautiful. I am really looking forward to the serviceberry and the redbuds in the springtime blooming. I did get them underplanted with some ephemerals, so hopefully nothing dug those up, and those will come up and it'll just be really lovely display. I don't know that I ever shared. This is behind the farm stand. I did kind of get this cleaned up and put a rock border edge with some of those smaller stones that I got in that delivery, as well as some that I had kind of in a pile lying around. And moving into the front of the house in the Daydream Garden. Again, you know, kind of as you would expect. Over here, bunnies came through and ate the sedges. I think this is the first year that they've ever done that. Kind of unfortunate because, you know, sedges are a little bit slower growing, but they saved me some, so that's okay. And those were the only two that they seemed to bother. So they're a different variety. Unfortunately, I couldn't tell you right offhand what variety, but they kind of left these more gold ones alone, and they did eat some variegated ones over in the Redwood Garden, actually, now that I'm recalling. And the deer did come through, and they knocked my little bird bath over, and you can't tell, but they broke it. I noticed that this morning, and I don't think I can repair it, at least not in a manner that would be safe for birds, I don't think. I might keep it around just, you know, for cutesiness. I am probably over here most excited for the Haas Halo hydrangea hedge to, like, I want to say it's going to be pretty darn close to full maturity next year. They did get a little bit of damage early in the season when we had our roof done, but they rebounded so well and looked so lovely, and you can still see the kind of lace cap heads on them. So that, yes, that is what I am most looking forward to. Oh my goodness, okay, I haven't been through this part. So yeah, bunnies really got the sedges over here as well. Oh, so silly. I'm also looking forward to seeing the hellebores that we planted earlier in the year. Actually, it was not that long ago, a few months ago, kind of in autumn time. There's that one right there, one over here, and I want to say, yes, another one back there, a couple other places, I believe. So that'll be nice, adding in some more, you know, winter flowering plants. I'm sort of going through my list of all the things, you know, all the projects that I want to get done, the ones that I didn't accomplish this year, as well as new ones for 2025. And first on the list is the gates, the darned gates. I did not finish many of them like I thought I would, but plenty of time. Oh, see, something actually nibbled on this hellebore. Interesting, they've mostly been safe. That is unfortunate. Oh, that one already has blooms. Goodness. And this is the Diane Witch Hazel. Looking like we're gonna get lots of flowers on it. I see lots of little heads coming up. So that should be wonderful. And with any kind of luck, we'll be able to see the Virginias bloom. They are an evergreen. Oh goodness, don't look at the poor heucheras. They just never stand a chance. But yes, so handful of Virginias kind of throughout here. Yes, they are evergreen. I think probably down to a certain degree. But in my area, I believe they are supposed to be. And they got kind of beat up from the chickens scratching. And actually the chickens sort of pulled some up and moved them all over the area, and I would catch them too late. So I did lose a few. They're looking a little tattery right now, most likely from claws. I'm thinking this year I'm going to try to keep them in the actual animal pen that I have. I don't know how well that is going to work. I have a lot of bantams. They can fly pretty well and jump fences and everything, but I'm gonna do my best just to keep them out of here. I love having them around, so I'm sure some days I'll let them out, but especially early in the season, you know, they can cause a lot of damage to newly emerging perennials. Yeah, the deer came through here and ate the penstemons right down to the ground, which I don't know that they have done that in previous years. They might have, but yeah, this year they came through and just hit them all. You can kind of see the remains. The hyacinths are already poking up. Okay, so swing back through where we have already walked. Oh, another thing I am excited for is the possibility that my wisteria might bloom. It probably won't, so I'm not going to, really count on it, but it may. It very well may. And I mean, look how thick the vine is already getting, and it's got these little curls, so much personality already. That did really well this past year. I'm really happy. And kind of much of the same, left everything standing over here. This is the last standing arb in my yard. Don't tell the deer it is here. If they wanted it, they could definitely find it. I think this might just be a bit too close to the house. Of course, now that I've said that, I'm sure they will make their way. And yeah, that's kind of how everything is looking right now. Fire pit garden is always one of my favorites in the winter, just because it has so many grasses and a couple different varieties and heights, so you get a lot of movement and structure in here. So thank you for joining me today on this winter garden tour. As we kind of close out 2024, I hope that it was a wonderful gardening year for you. I'm pretty proud of everything that I accomplished. That being said, I am so excited to start the gardening year in 2025 and have bigger and better projects all in mind, and the garden is going to be even bigger and better. Everything is going to be so great. But thank you for joining me today, and we'll see you in the next video.